Mr. Tim.
Did you find your daughter the other day?
Just a little.
I did. She was.
A little guy.
That you're pretty safe saying that?
Hello.
Apple Maps.
Okay, no, you're not safe saying that. You are doing.
She calls me.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm in the meeting, Mom.
I love your mom. Your mom and dad are
That's from like the latest aerial. Meet one of them.
I'm working on it.
She's working on it.
Remember Max Dagger?
Sorry,
Good. Very good, Darcy.
Roger.
Hello there.
Are we still echoing? I'm beginning to annoy her now. I'm probably gonna stop since I'm annoying you, Darcy. Okay, I won't stop, but you gotta quit.
Okay.
You always gotta meet one of the devices.
Me, all y'all.
Max Headroom, that's what I was trying to say. That's what that sounded like in the eighties.
Yeah.
Good heavens to Betsy.
Last week. And then you can turn it into the next week. and then you can-
Yeah, the attorneys are supposed to
Yeah.
log in remotely.
You're gonna be sitting
They
in
didn't want to come up on Friday night.
Yeah.
Maybe. And so we'll get back to school and you'll get all that.
Our pension board is canceled on Monday.
Okay. I will
You'll be
let,
getting an email
I
now.
will let Erica, you know what, let me text her now, otherwise I'll forget. Because Boris was gonna cover it for me, since I'm
Can you
in.
have this meeting
French
without an
lit.
attorney?
If I had what?
Can you have this meeting?
This meeting without the attorney? I think we could at this point, because we're doing this based off our attorney's advice.
Right. Who about the White House?
I think
Rita
it's,
Hardy, I believe it said.
Who is she? Where's she from?
I don't know. I definitely don't believe everything I see on Facebook.
Oh, I don't.
So-
that was a historical society though that posted that, so
So that's
it's
why I think
probably.
it's
If it
probably
was
right.
Patty, if it was Patty, she.
I know, but that's all I saw was the name. I don't know if she's
Uh-huh.
on here.
I just turn on the news story and just watch Facebook, because you know, these people are so
I
intelligent.
called over there.
It's nice to see Bob and
Oh, yeah, Miss Heather.
Maryland's home got bought too.
Who about that?
Again, the historical society made a post as well.
And
There was a truck there, but
I saw a truck there when I.
they just mentioned they're happy it was purchased.
I
anywhere.
think they're from New Jersey.
They'll probably wait.
When the fuck off Maryland,
That's what somebody.
are they gonna redo it?
And I
Yes.
thought we all.
They're gonna take it back.
Please
to their-
try.
and I think that's
We
why
tried.
they're-
That's all we can do is
To
try.
get that order pictures to see what the original color was.
Well.
And that's-
No, you could not.
If I.
Do what?
Right, glass.
Where?
Oh, plate glass house? I can't
Well,
remember if
and
that's what
like I
that
told
was.
you,
No,
I
I
didn't
think that was
find out,
the
you were
Yule
already on
house.
vacation when I found out about
I
it.
thought the old Yule house was up there.
The green one?
It's not right.
No, the one, on- I
She
think
was really-
Bob and Maryland's was the
Yeah,
old
no,
Yule
she
house.
got
I'll have to look. So I used to live in the
Good.
greenhouse next to it.
Okay.
Cool. I said, well, I didn't
I
want
thought
to
the
get
old
them
Yule
to
house
over
was
something.
right.
No, that's the old Owen
That's-
house. That was called the
Hey,
promenade.
who built it before Owen? Owen rented it.
It was,
Dr.
it
Owens
was
rented
the people that built it owned the paper mill.
it. Okay,
That's what they called it, the paper
okay,
mill.
that's right, they called it the paper mill mansion,
Behind it?
okay.
Like that paper mill behind it.
Mhm.
Alvin Maryland's is the one on the corner.
Todd, is this
Can
still
everyone
leaking
hear
out
me
there?
okay?
Oh, hang on a
Is
second.
it still leaking too? Trailer park?
Well, why is my mic on? I don't need my.
I'm gonna let Logan write the water story. and Let him reach out to these people, because they don't like him.
Can anyone
They'll be
hear
nice
me?
to him. I don't know.
Everybody will write their own story anyway, so.
Oh, yeah, I
I don't know why you report. They do it
Hang
for
on.
you.
I'm trying to get
Add it to
Sydney.
that.
I don't know, so like me, I'd rather ask 3 articles
Yeah, they
on
may
that
not.
saying that.
You support the city, that's what you mean. So if you support the city,
Yeah.
you're gonna be in trouble.
Not yet, I'm trying.
You don't need to.
Can you hear us, Sydney? Okay, she can hear us. We can't hear her yet. I'm trying. Sweet mercies, this should not be this hard. Jeremy?
Yeah.
I don't have the remote. Will you turn up the TV remote and
Oh, yeah.
see? All right, now see if we can hear Sydney.
All right, can you hear me now?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah. I'm gonna try this real quick. Hang on.
God love it. Oh, you know what? I didn't try the.
There you go.
Oh, can you hear me
Let
now?
Turn it down a little bit. Can you say something?
Testing, testing.
Mute yourself.
Now say something.
Testing, can you hear me?
It was me. Go figure.
I didn't say that.
Is this streaming?
Have to.
Can you say one more thing, please?
Yep, can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, I just want to get the volume right. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Is that loud enough for everyone?
I can hear
Okay.
it.
All right, apologies that I'm out of state. I can't make it. I'm out of state right now, but I'm happy to zoom in, so I do apologize.
Thank you, Sydney. Oh, is that?
2 minutes.
Let me try and make sure our live streams.
They have to see if I. Put the equal like that.
Yeah, they're gonna sit You can see me. Or you can, you know, like, put your mom. They don't think
I know.
that- Yeah. I drink tap water all day. I would be in the hospital right now. So they're not.
Yeah, it's streaming. I mean, you can start. I'm gonna backstop it.
I'll order the special meeting for August 8th, 2025.
That's a lot, but yes. Oh, okay.
Do roll call. Sarah Collis,
Present.
Roger Cunha,
Present.
Tim Smith,
Here.
Jeremy Vanderman,
Here.
City Attorney Sydney Darnall,
Here?
Treasurer Darcy Vanderman,
Present.
and I'm also here. Okay, the new business for right now is the utility service for the Park Place Communities Trailer Park. Go into the,
I can, how about you roll with it for now, because I'm still trying to make sure I got it, everything going like it's supposed to, sorry.
okay, we're over the last several months, we've tried working with them and tried working with them and tried working with them. And it was beginning, the communication was okay, you know. Kind of dried up now, hasn't it?
Yes.
There is no communication. They're $96,000 behind on their utility bill.
So, right, so the total bill is 96, but you cannot, we cannot do lien action on water. So there's no water or stormwater in that figure. So that is just sewage, that is. owed with-
Darcy, can I interject real quick? You can file a lien within other notice requirements for the water and stormwater. It's just that for right now, under the discontinuation of water statute, you can only consider sewage. But it doesn't mean that there won't be a avenue to get that money back. It's just that under the discontinuation statute, we can only consider sewage. So,
Gotcha. Thank you, Sydney.
Good to know. Good to know.
So let me understand this. Their tenants' water bill is included in their rent.
That's my understanding, yes.
So if we shut off the water, then the tenants will suffer twice because they paid their portion of the water bill,
That is our
and they will
understanding.
be without water.
That is our understanding,
But,
yes.
but we've never received any money for it. I mean, that's
So
where
the
we're, that's
tenants
where
have been
we're at.
paying water bill for what, a year now and haven't.
The first, if you look at other diagnostics, you can see, I want to say they've never, the last time they were fully current on their bill was February of 2023. The last payment we have received was January of 2025, and that was for $2,000, which left a $19,000 balance. So this has been ongoing for over 2 years. They've just said that they're trying to restructure. Anytime they communicate with us, that diagnostic that you're looking at there is just some, it's not fully exhaustive, but it's work orders, emails that I could pull quickly to give you just some snapshots of conversations had to show where we've tried to be merciful. We've tried very hard to work with the parties to resolve this.
I would say with the balance this high, and my concern is the customer and their tenants. It's so unfair, but I don't think we could carry a balance. So
No,
does the same rules not apply to them that would apply to a home when they get disconnected after some? A resident would get disconnected after 30, 60, 90 days, whatever the. So that wouldn't apply to a business?
Sydney, I think they're asking if you can maybe talk to the difference, if there is any, between a regular residence and a business like a trailer park with their meter billing for shut off.
Yeah, the statute is rather broad. It just says that if there is a past due balance on a property owner or a resident, I don't remember the exact term. I think it might say water user. So they keep the language extremely broad, property owner or water consumer. Then the utility can discontinue the water, given the notice provisions in the 10 days. So the statute doesn't parse out differences between residences and commercial businesses. It just leaves it very open-ended, and it encompasses both the consumers and the property owner.
so if you go into, let me find it. There was a point in 24 where I had, trying to find it. In August of 24 is when I really started having these conversations. Thank you. So like they would make payments of $2,000 a month, but their bill would be $9,000. They would state, well, we have leaks. Well, they weren't addressing the leaks. We could not get them to commit to a repayment plan. We could not get them to commit to fixing their leaks. We could not get, we can't do an adjustment, even if they would have requested it, until all the leaks were resolved. We tried very hard to just be gracious because of the people. We know there were elderly and children. But we're to the point now, they're not even communicating with us. We drew up multiple repayment agreements that they would never get back with us.
So do you know if the tenants out there know about this? Like,
Yeah.
they know that they're.
It's been notified.
They know that the bill hasn't been paid for months. We get a lot of the customers call the utility office because of the active leaks. Eroding underneath their trailers. They're not living in a good environment. They thought it was the city's responsibility, that we were being negligent. We've had to advise them, no, this is private property. There's nothing we can do. And they're not getting any assistance with their management, the community management either, as tenants.
So if we would decide to disconnect, how much of a notice would we give those tenants? And would we?
That's the question I had for Sydney. Or we're allowed to, let's say the board chooses to disconnect them after the 10 days here. Or decides to disconnect them after the 10 days. We're allowed in between that time period to go out and notify their are we allowed to go on the private property and notify their residents, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, you don't, yeah, you can go on the property. You can also post the notice if you want to. Yeah, that's within your discretion to kind of let them know as you see fit. And if you make that decision. I dated the letter that was circulated for August 11th. So I started the clock this coming Monday because this letter will be sent via certified mail, which means we want a return receipt from the property owner. So therefore the city has some proof that the property owner was sufficiently notified. And then I think it's technically 11 days. I did it until the August 22nd, which is not next Friday, but the following Friday.
Now,
Okay.
historically, we don't normally disconnect on a Friday, so, what happens if we were to disconnect on, that following Monday? Would
We
we
can-
have to start the process all over again?
No, we can just change that. The notice period is just a minimum of 10 days, so there's no issues if you take 12 days. We'll just want to let them know the accurate disconnect date. So if the board pursues discontinuation of water, we'll just want to make sure we have the amendment of the correct date.
Right.
That would be August 25th.
25th, okay.
The 10 days is a minimum state standard for notice, but we could extend that to whatever the board chooses, correct?
Certainly, yes. You'll just want to make sure that the letter has that date
Okay.
that you choose.
A question came up earlier about notifying the State Board of Health. Is there any need to notify the state?
In the statute, it doesn't require such, so it's not required. But whether you choose to do that is probably a policy decision on behalf of the board.
Good idea. They'll probably reach out to the people too.
I think that
I think it's a good idea.
yes, I think we need to watch out for the tenants out there, nobody else is.
Those all-
And if we're gonna shut it off, I think we should have somebody personally talk to those people so they know. They can't, notes on your door blow away, or a kid brings it in, they don't know what it is. I don't know. I guess that might be far and home for my services to help with that if Darcy needs it, because I think that's important. These people are being mistreated in the first place.
Yeah.
How many trailers are out there?
I counted 50 on an aerial map, 52, 53. I drove it, but I didn't count them today, so I just pulled up on my phone. It looks like there's somewhere between 50 and 55.
Are they all occupied?
Mhm.
Okay.
There's a lot of.
A lot of
it
empty
looks like
ones.
they've been filled out.
Who are the property owners? I heard you say,
Mike and Kara Ayala,
Where are they from?
Utah,
So the service is going to Indianapolis on the letter.
for the LLC filing with the Secretary of State.
Okay,
Yes.
that's because that's what we go by, right, for these type of notices.
Do you know how that will get to them? I mean, is that their attorney's address? You know, or you don't know? Like the address you're sitting at too?
I can't verify what is at that address.
I would add to generally it's appropriate when we have court filings to find the registered agent on the Indiana Business Search. So Darcy, if you said you pulled that address from the Indiana Business Search, that's pretty typical for notice. And like I mentioned, it will be via certified mail, so that you'll want to be on a lookout for that return receipt. Because if proper notice isn't given and they refuse service, there might need to be other methods obtained, like a private process server, to make sure that they truly did receive the notice.
I think this is a unique situation because this really can't be treated as any other business. Because several other individuals will be affected by this,
That's part of why we've
besides
been so,
just the property owner.
so gentle to point with it. And that's why the balance reflects like it reflects. We really, really tried to give these people every opportunity to make this right. And now that they're not communicating with us again, we're left with no options.
Is there, I assume that they're all on one water. meter out there, so there's no way to divide it
Right.
up.
Right,
So they'll go on
so
their own.
my last conversation with the owner, I went out with the building commissioner and, I said, I know you're subletting, or sub-billing. And he verified that they were, and I said, please understand, we would love to work with you if you don't want to perform that in your community here. We as the city can come alongside and help you with that. And he acted very, he acted like he wanted to proceed down that route, but again, we had no communication since.
So would it be a possibility if you could get them to pay their bill, that we could somehow split all those people onto their own bill? So this would never happen again?
I mean,
There's a whole process to
that
get to
would,
that.
that
point,
would be
but-
the property owner's decision for that.
Yes. And there's a whole process to get to that point,
You don't have
but
to agree to that. Okay,
I mean, he'd have to, yeah.
okay.
Doesn't sound like he has, or they have any plans to comply at all. And it sounds like these people are just gonna be left hanging
I do hate that. part.
without any water.
Yeah.
that's correct.
And if we vote to disconnect them, we're off Monday, but Tuesday, I will go out there and knock on doors myself. Just to give them as much
Hmm.
advance notice.
Well,
As
maybe
we can get them.
they are all calling on top of us calling, maybe they would get somewhere,
I hope so.
or maybe.
I hope so.
I think once this happens too, I believe the state may step in, because really they're
The only
managed by
thing
the
we really
state.
haven't talked about that I'm just trying to be a little proactive in my thinking. Since we're gathered here in this moment, right, obviously we were focused on the proceeding forward with sending the certified letter for disconnection. But I can see, because this has happened before, we're coming, and I mean, I've been very clear in months previous with disconnection, like, I'm not stopping them this time. I will make them, you will be disconnected. They have wired money at the last minute. They have sent certified funds at the last minute, but I can see them possibly trying to make a deal with a repayment agreement. So I would like to ask the board your thoughts on if they came back with they can't pay the 83,000. What are your thoughts on going into a repayment agreement?
Hmm.
In 2.5 years, they have not.
They have not in 2.5 years gone into a repayment agreement, and they still have active leaks. So, and they've not been maintaining the property, but I can see them throwing that card. I can see them throwing that card,
Or they might try to make a partial payment to stop the shut off.
right?
I don't know about that.
So I
So,
mean,
like,
if they say I can only give you $40,000, then we would have to go, if Sydney, please verify, but my understanding is we would have to go back to the drawing board with this whole process again and start the 10-day process over again if I received that $40,000, let's say.
At that point, we would want the Board of Works to reconvene and vote on that and see, what your thoughts are on amending the decision that you've made. And then we can go from there with them.
Okay,
So if they
We
would.
could
make-
always give
and we
authority.
would have to call another special meeting. Okay,
So in other
Haley,
words,
Haley was saying something real quick.
oh, sorry,
You could
Haley.
always, give authority to, for Darcy to like enter into a repayment agreement with them as well, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't think that they probably have that much liquid assets to be able to make the full payment. So the likelihood of them entering, the only way to get any money back or the city to be able to recoup anything is probably going to be through a repayment plan. So I think that is something that you guys should, it would be helpful to have a discussion about and maybe think about if that would be some authority you would give Darcy to and the mayor to work on, because they're not going to be able to come back and pay the whole thing up front, just being realistic. So
Right. And I can say, the last repayment agreement we had going back and forth between parties was just shy of $4,000 a month towards their balance, plus whatever their monthly bill was. And they did not go into that agreement. So their monthly bills running around, $8,000 or $9,000. So they were, well, because of these leaks that they are not addressing.
Do you roughly recall what the normal bill would be per month out there without the leaks? A rough,
Well, stand by, because I did run, account history from 23 to present. Prior to the leaks. 23, we were leaking in 23.
so you'd have to go back further.
I would have to go back farther
So
to verify.
they might be,
Since 23, and haven't done anything about it.
Yeah, and we can't, I mean, we can't make them. That's their.
well, are making them is shutting them off.
Uh-huh.
And I hate to say, it, but to be the bad guy, but like sometimes you have to shut them off first and then get them to commit to the repayment plan before we turn them back on.
Yes, I agree.
Is that
Yes.
legal? To shut them off and then entertain the repayment to turn them back on?
I think I'll defer to Haley in case she has different thoughts, but I think that would be okay. I think, yeah, that would be something, you can either delegate authority to Darcy to figure out, or the board can choose to, reconvene and talk about whether, because the statute technically does say, payment of the fees, but I think if you work into an alternative agreement, that could be altered. Haley, do you have any different thoughts?
Can you say your question one more time, Jeremy?
Whether or not to shut them off first before entering into a repayment agreement. A lot of times people will want to,
But you're doing it both ways.
yeah,
We want to give, I believe, if we choose to shut them off, we want to give Darcy the ability to negotiate.
Yeah.
Within certain parameters.
Yeah.
Yes, I want what you are
And if,
comfortable with.
and if that doesn't, if they don't offer that before we shut them off and we shut them off, is it okay to negotiate at that point?
after the shut off,
Yes, after the shut off,
to get them turned back on.
a certain amount to get you turned back on? Or should we hold out for the whole amount if we reach that point?
And I will throw this other piece on the table. These owners also own another trailer court in Indiana where a municipality did just disconnect for this exact same situation. So they have another community that's in this same situation.
I think a repayment plan will have to be a very rigid,
And we are rigid with them.
situation.
The first one they threw at us, they wanted a 3-year repayment plan and they were gonna pay their normal bill with $1,000 monthly. I personally rejected that because I didn't feel they were serious. And we were gonna be back in this same boat again.
Mhm.
So, and that was after having conversations with Mayor. And so we figured it at 12 months and that was where we came up with it. It was just shy of $4,000 a month at that point. Unfortunately, it's been months since then. So now a 12-month repayment plan is going to
On
be,
this other municipality,
Mhm.
do you know if it's still disconnected there?
it is still disconnected.
How long have
As
they
of
been without
today.
water?
That is a great question. I just caught wind of it 2 weeks ago.
Have they been without water for 2 weeks?
That is my understanding. Unless some, let's make a deal has happened with that municipality that I am unaware of.
And I don't,
I wonder if these people are paying their rent. I'm assuming they are, and their rent is just going and they're not taking care of them.
that's where I think also letting the state know will be helpful. They might be able to step in and do something we can't. I also don't want to leave it completely on you two's heads,
And the State Board of Health has been there.
Yeah. I want to give you guys room to work on
Building
it.
commissioner has also been working with them regarding some other issues with code enforcement. That's the day I went out there. I did not go by myself. I was with Mr. Bill. I don't do anything like that by myself, just so you know. Like just for safety. But, yeah, Mr. Bill and I had lengthy conversations and Mr. Bill is still, well, he asked me for their contact information earlier this week because we're having code enforcement issues again. So to follow up on. So it's an all hands on deck. caveat here.
I know this is a necessary evil, but I just feel terrible about the people who live out there.
Yes, yes.
My team is, these are some of the hardest phone calls because we hear the desperation of the residents of this community, and we know there's nothing we can do for them.
But they're paying their bill and still.
As far as we know.
Yeah,
As far as we know,
that's-
correct.
Without saying much, and you guys shouldn't either. But I would recommend them to a legal aid society.
Okay,
For help.
that's good. That was good advice. We do have a list in the utility office for people that do have hardship with all their bills, including, like, even though we don't do electric and gas, we do still try to get them to like ICAP and IHCA trustees offices. Some of the other nonprofits out there that help with people in need. So
Is Chip aware of this situation? And is he able to provide any assistance?
I have not spoken with Mr. Chip. Have you?
Not about this.
What about the property owners? Could they contact him and?
Normally, that is what happens. We don't broker anything. It's normally when we have residents that come to us in need. And we give them that information is solely on them, because when it's a resident, like a you and me resident, there's paperwork that's required by the state for a trustee to release assistance. So I don't know the rules. I'm not a trustee.
Yeah.
I don't know all the rules for if any of that can go to a commercial entity that has a community of people, right? That's a really good question. I don't know the answer to. Not saying Mr. Chick doesn't know the answer, and he may. I personally do not.
Well, I think we need to confirm the timeline first of how many days we're giving them, 10 versus 12 versus 15. I think giving you a couple extra days in case you need it, 15 days might.
I think we should stick to the 12, make
Okay.
it Monday, because that, my
Gotcha.
opinion is, then you have Monday,
Mhm.
that gives us all the way to Friday. If we push it to Wednesday, then they'll say, well, Friday, we don't have enough
And
time.
if we need to get back together to meet, okay,
It gives us a little more time.
okay.
They already know, that's just my opinion, they already know where they're at, they've probably been expecting this.
So in your communication timeline, you will, that I created for you, you will see where they have been emailing the office monthly for over 18 months. They've been getting their monthly bill. So they get a monthly bill, they get a delinquent letter. They are not only mailed, they are also emailed. And now this month started, we're e-billing. Hopefully they would be someone that might even request e-billing services. So
So that's an email that they gave you, they supplied you, and is there a way to confirm that they've received said emails for their bills?
they have confirmed that with other communications. At one point, we hadn't heard from the gentleman over accounts payable. We inquired if he was still with the community, and the property manager at that time advised that he was still the accounts payable manager.
Do they have a manager still lives in the front trailer out from the
I
property?
don't know that. They've
Okay.
churned through a lot of, it's been a revolving door of people for probably 9 months.
So,
Almost every month it's a different person, even boots on the ground labor, like our water team would just develop a great relationship and then that person would be gone. Like we really have, like, when I say all hands on deck, I mean, like, we have been all hands on deck trying.
that's why you called me. What kind of parameters do we want to give them to
I think it should be
negotiate?
significant, and I think we should have at least have upfront. That's just what I think, what do you guys think?
At least that.
It'd be nice to get half, and then if they can't, they'll call us.
The overall bill or half of what's on this letter?
Whatever goes in the letter, if it's 86,
Okay.
half of whatever's,
Okay,
before we enter into any kind of agreement.
But we
Then
have a $10,000 gap between that, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
Then when we make the other half to be due.
That would be an arrangement per month.
we have the other half of this 86 and 1,000, but then we also have the other 10,000 plus their current bill.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure that half of the 86,
That's.
I'm wondering if we should maybe start at like 50. Like 50,000, not 50%, say,
Oh.
well, I was saying 50,000, I was saying 50%, but when you break that down, we still have that other 10,000 out there. So that would get us, if we did 50,000, that would get us closer to half of what they really owe us, because we're really at 96 and not
So-
86.
So we want to vote to send them a letter, possibly shut them down in 12 days and give her the ability to negotiate a settlement with $50,000 down
Well, that's
before
just my
we would
opinion.
even consider turning them back on,
Yes,
if, at that point, or
What do you guys think?
$50,000 down and we won't shut you off at this
All
point.
right, so send, let me make sure I'm gonna have all
Make
this.
sure everybody else wants to do that. That's just my.
I mean, I'm just.
Send
yeah,
a letter, shut off,
That's a
and you
start.
said August 25th is for
Mhm.
shut off?
Yeah.
here's the thing, if they somehow miraculously come up with 50,000 and we promise not to shut them off, if they do that, then by December, they're gonna be right back in the same
And-
boat.
We don't have to.
We don't, I was
We
gonna
don't
say
have to let it go that long
we
again.
wouldn't have promised.
So
that
if
we-
they break that, so, okay, let's say, like, they make a deal with me, they get us the 50,000, we go into the repayment agreement. Our procedure now with our residents, if they break that promise that first month, like, if they say, I'm gonna be in every month by the 16th. If it's the 17th and they have not been in,
That's the goal.
that is default, and depending on what, or where they're at with their deficiency, we can send, we'll send the boys out that day for disconnect. So we would, they break this agreement, it's disconnect immediately.
That
We-
day.
Mhm.
I think that we need to make sure. that
That's
we
our
understand
normal
that.
SOP. If you want to continue with that SOP, again, that's part of why we're here.
Consistent.
Yes, say, you have to pay this by this date, if it isn't, we will be, we will disconnect you that day. And I mean, I don't know, Sydney, is it okay to, if the, residents ask, that they know what the deal is, maybe not the financial part, but I guess they could watch this and just know that if it gets delinquent again, they will be shut off again.
Sure,
Is it
yeah,
okay to tell them that if they ask?
yeah, yep, this is a public meeting, so like you said, you're saying it now, so that's all right.
I can't imagine the feeling of living somewhere and paying your rent and then not knowing if you're gonna have water when you come home, when you did your part.
These have been hard conversations with the residents. They really have been.
No, I don't know all of them, but I know several of them, they're good people.
Absolutely. And I
They don't
know,
deserve this.
yeah.
Back to the conversation of adjustments and adjusting anything off. They've got to fix the leaks. That's gonna solve a lot of their issues. If they got in there and fixed the leaks, could we then discuss? And they got to make the monthly payment and whatever repayment plan you throw out to them. I wouldn't want to go more than another.
It wouldn't
year.
be, if we do in fact shut them off, and I know what you're saying. If we do in fact shut them off and they don't agree to fix the leaks, it's just gonna snowball again.
Mhm.
They're not gonna get ahead.
Yeah,
They're
well,
not
I think they gotta make obviously the monthly minimum payment, which unfortunately can be high because of the leaks. But doing any kind of waiver like we do write-offs because of the leaks outside not going to sewage and whatnot. I'd be willing to entertain what could be written off if they're gonna fix the problem, but if they're not gonna fix the problem,
How do
then
you determine that, the actual usage from
So,
whatever?
because it's gone on for so long, I'm gonna have,
At this point, yeah.
they became a customer in 2018, so you're talking like I would forensically have to go back and run forensically what their consumption looked like to even start trying to
Mhm.
come at this, which, I mean, it's possible. it's just a little bit of work on my end, but it's doable.
Catch their bill up first and then we can talk about any kind of write-off.
Like,
Hey,
yeah.
Darcy,
Oh,
can I add,
no.
can I add one thing real quick? I think when you were talking about the new standard operating procedures, you mentioned next day, but I do want to point out under state code, you always need to give 10 days of notice. So that you'll want to incorporate that across the board because it applies to all property owners and water consumers.
So if they have an agreement with us that says they will pay X amount of money by the 15th, we can't shut them down on the 16th because we have to give them 10 days.
I have to do
Right.
another delinquent letter at that point.
Well, not in this context with the trailer park where you're already delegating Darcy the ability to negotiate. I think that's okay. I just mean for other customers where
Yeah, that's
You-
what I'm talking about. Oh,
it's
gosh.
perhaps the
It's a
first
whole other-
delinquency, you'll just want to make sure that there's also and it's also, the Board of Works, but obviously they can delegate their authority as needed after that, but it'll have to be a letter from the Board of Works giving this notice and giving that 10-day period.
I think I would want to double check that for you guys to make sure that you are able to go in that same day and shut it off. Gut reaction, I don't know the exact answer to that, so I would want to make sure that we feel very confident that that is in our capabilities. I can dig around
that's
right
not-
now, but
Actually wasn't a new SOP. That's been the SOP even before I was in office. That as long as I was put on the water board in 98 and that was the procedure even back then. So I would say, depending on what the House bill changed, if any of the House bills since then have changed any of that. My understanding was, I remember when we got out of the IURC, that gave us even some of those type of positions. And again, I could be totally not understanding accurately. But the promise to pay and the breach of payment for disconnect, that's how we have functioned as a city. Like I said, my board appointment was all the way back in 98 and it was prior to that. So.
I just looked at the statute and it was enacted in 2019, so this could be a more recent change.
Okay, thank you. So that was prior to me coming into office and it just didn't get changed then. Great, okay, thank you. Well, then I will visit that SOP and make sure we get that modified within our office. Thank you.
What,
I said I'm not.
clarify, just make sure I understand. So we've got an amount. I also feel like, if it's within 12 months, to kind of clarify, I don't want it to go, a repayment plan, I don't think should stretch more than a year. So I think,
That's 6 months.
Yeah.
You're generous.
well, I'm just, with previous offers of reasonable plans, I think, and I'm just saying no more than a year.
That's why I feel like we've given them year, we keep giving them. That's why I think it has to be more radical this time because they don't seem to care.
The balance, the monthly bill paid every month, and then the remaining balance would be paid in 6 months. And any adjustments we would look at only after, if, when, and until they enter the agreement, they honor the agreement. Then we can all sit down and go back through the leak for 3 years and the numbers for 3 years and see if we can potentially reduce their remaining balance.
Make the motion to send a letter for 12 days till we disconnect, what they pay. With the stipulation that Darcy is able to negotiate a settlement to this. Hopefully we don't have to shut them off.
Darcy knows what we want in the settlement. Did we decide on the 50,000?
Well, these all were going to go back and forth. So if you want 50% or 50K, you gotta just.
Make it part of your
divide.
motion.
50.
Okay,
50,000.
50,000. What am I making? And no longer than 6 months.
For the balance.
And in your motion, I would add in pending the one change of August 25th as the date.
Okay, yes. Now you second.
If I don't want to do it, but I will. I will do it. I just hate to put those people. in
I know.
positions.
We all
But we
feel the
can't
same
get
way.
in, can't get anywhere if we don't, so I'll make this.
All in
Yes.
favor?
Second with pressure.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
I-
all.
I'd make a,
This
re-
was-
I know.
This was a hard one, I know.
I'd like to make a request, and I don't know, it's not part of the motion per se, but I think we need to send a copy of said letter. Sydney and ladies, you can
have
let
it
me
in
know,
your- you have
No,
it in your-
a copy to the state board of health. They need notified what's going on, what's coming, what's happening.
You can do that.
Is there any other agency you can notify that maybe can get out to help those people?
I think that's the way them people operate. They just always got their hands out there.
But we can always tell the residents.
Oh, for the
Yeah,
residents,
legal
yeah.
name.
Mhm.
We should have
Is
a,
that what you said, Sydney?
Oh.
Refer, or Haley, refer them
No,
to
there's a
legal aid?
well, that, anybody that. can
Sorry,
provide-
there was too many people talking. What did you say?
It's Sarah. I said, if the residents, you said to refer them to legal aid, should we hear from them? Or suggest that they contact legal aid?
Yeah, I wouldn't give any more, like I wouldn't advise them, but I think you can tell them that, they should contact a legal aid organization, and kind of let them take it from there, so.
Other assistance could go through, Jane Pauley, for water or any like physical needs for them in the meantime so people could bring them,
Say, going to the bathroom, taking showers.
yeah, I mean, we could reach out to some community groups that could provide assistance in the meantime. Or at least provide them a list.
Yeah, I'm sure there are places who would donate drinking water,
Yeah,
you know.
big trucks, yeah, to get them through hopefully.
I want to say anything else?
I try to reach out.
Except-
Yeah, cool.
Except the motion to adjourn.
Good job.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed?
And like you mentioned, who brought up the trustees? Somebody brought up the
Thank
trustees.
you all. Thank you, girls.
Roger.
Thank you.
Yeah, we could reach out.
Yep, of course.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
It would be good to tell. us
Thank you.
Yay or nay. Thank you.